Shemai everybody, and a very, very warm welcome back to school and a brand new school year. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you've had a lovely break and done lots of lovely things at home with whoever you live with. Okay, we're going to go straight in today to our new letter for our lovely Reach curriculum. So we started last half term with R for respect, did lots of work around respect and respectful behaviour. Can you think, remember what we're doing this term? What's the next letter and what does it stand for? Have a little chat, can you remember? That's absolutely right. So it's E for engaged, E for engagement. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about being engaged and what that entails over the next few weeks and how we can improve our engagement, what we can do to help us engage and think about and concentrate on learning. I'm going to start today by showing you a film clip. Some of you may have seen this before. I'd like you to have a look at it and then maybe have a little talk about it. Afterwards, I shall ask you some questions, okay?
Chapter 1. Mojo discovers a secret about his brain. A secret that will change the way he looks at the world forever. Our story begins with Mojo, a friendly monster who loved school, especially math. Until one day, when something terrible happened. The math problems got harder. Nothing made sense anymore. Mojo had a devastating thought. He just wasn't smart enough for school. It seemed the only reasonable thing to do was pack his things and leave forever. Just then, he heard his friend Katie laughing. "Mojo, you can't just give up," she said. "I have no choice, Katie," said Mojo. "You're either born smart or you're not. And I realize today that I'm not." "Mojo, that's not how it works," said Katie. "Anyone can be smart. You just have to work at it." "That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard," said Mojo. "It's not ridiculous, it's science," said Katie. "Neuroscientists studied the brain for years and discovered an incredible secret, that your brain is like a muscle. When you try challenging things, like those hard math problems, you're giving your brain the exercise it needs to get stronger, which makes you smarter." "Ooh, is that really true?" said Mojo. "Of course," said Katie. "It's like how when you were a baby, you didn't know how to talk. But you kept trying, exercising your brain, until one day you could." Mojo! Mojo couldn't believe what he was hearing. If your brain was really like a muscle, did that mean anyone could become smarter? Even him? He turned to ask Katie, but just then, she had to be off to her next class. But maybe you can answer Mojo's question. What do you think? Can Mojo become smarter? What about you? Now that's an interesting question indeed.
Okay, I'm going to show you some questions now. We can, in your classes, have a little talk with your friends or your class about some of these questions. Okay, so why do you think Mojo wants to leave school? Why did he want to leave school? And can you sometimes relate to how Mojo is feeling? So do you sometimes feel like that in school? You can pause this clip and answer those questions. Okay, next questions. Do you think Mojo can become smarter? Why? Why do you think it could become smarter, or why do you think he might not become smarter? And the last question there is, what subject do you feel frustrated by sometimes, that you think, I can't do that? And how might you get better at that next time? So what area of learning, is there something that you've done in the classroom or out of the classroom that you found really quite tricky and frustrating that you can't do it? Just share that with somebody near you for a moment. Okay, I'm going to go back to my slides. Just bear with me. Okay, so we call this, when we're growing our brain and using the muscles in our brain, what we've talked about today is part of engagement is thinking about your mindset. So it's about how you think and feel rather than what you can or cannot do. So to be good at engaging in learning, we have to believe that we can get better at that learning. So today we're talking all about growth mindset. Mojo learned a shocking fact that his brain was a muscle that he could exercise to grow, and that would make him smarter, okay? But then to begin with, he was having lots of negative thoughts and thinking about leaving, whereas when he found that out, he then changed his mindset to become more positive about what he could do. And this used to happen. People used to think that it doesn't matter how much you learn or how hard you work, your brain and your intelligence, what you think and believe, you're just as smart as you are, and you'll never get any smarter. But it has been proved that that isn't the fact, okay? You just aren't born knowing everything that you need to know. And things can be quite tricky, and sometimes the trickier things are, the more you learn. So it's not what you're born with that matters, it's your mindset. So here's an example of 3 different people that you will have heard or might have heard of. J.K. Rowling, Michael Jordan and Walt Disney. All of these people, when they were younger, weren't particularly different or successful or anything sort of special, but you might want to talk about now what they do now, because actually they must have had amazing growth mindset and worked on lots of different muscles and bits and pieces to get where they've got today. You might want to pause and have a talk about that. So here's the thing to think about. There's no success without failure. Never, ever, ever give up, okay? Learn from the things that you do wrong, make mistakes. Making mistakes is absolutely fine. And school is a really good, safe place to make mistakes because there are lots of people around you that can help you, lots of friends, lots of adults, and you get lots of different experiences as well. Just remember, if you don't fail at some point, then you're probably not challenging yourself quite enough. It's important that you do sometimes get it wrong to learn how to get it right better. It's really important, everybody, that you believe in yourselves. And I think this is a lovely message for the very first day back at school, thinking about positive mindset, positive thinking, and how this term we're going to be amazing at growing our brains and becoming good, engaged learners. So, your mindset. Let's think about some phrases. So this is, I can't do it. Just have a talk with your friend. Can you think of a different thought that would be more positive than I can't do it? Have a little think. So yes, remember the power of yet. Not that I can't do it, but I can't do it yet. Might be tricky, I might make mistakes, but actually I can do it. I will be able to do it. And maybe somebody will need to show me how to do it. But once I've been shown, I'll be able to do it. Here's another one for you. I'll never be able to do this. What could you say instead? If I keep trying, I'll get better. And I definitely will be happy when I learn to do this. Even if I make a little improvement, that's a big achievement. Lots of different positive ways of thinking of those things. And actually, when you're growing your brain and you're engaging in learning, it's really good for your well-being, that feeling of success and happiness when you finally, even though you're not feeling very good about it to begin with, you'll finally feel happy and like you've achieved something really well. This is the last one. My friend is 1,000,000 times better at this than me. What could you say instead of that? Well, just remember, your friend might be good at something, but that doesn't mean that you're not. Everybody is good at different things. So you could help your friend do something and they can help you do something. So it's quite a good sharing of skills and sharing of helping each others to grow their brains and have good growth mindset. So this week, when you are working, and next week, and you're thinking and you're learning new things and talking about new ideas, you may feel like you won't be able to do it. You may feel like you can't, but you hopefully will move into I want to, I can do, I will do. Okay, and then ultimately we'll have achieved it. So think about these steps and which steps you reach each day. And it might take you a few more days to do something, or you might do something really quickly. Just going to move on to this, which gives you some lovely growth mindset phrases that you might want to pause and talk about a little bit more now. Okay, we watched the first episode of Mojo there, where he learns that actually your brain is a muscle and you can grow it. There are 4 other episodes of these. They're only short, tiny ones, and they talk a little bit more about growth mindset and ways of developing thinking in your brain. So it would be really good if you could have a little look at those over the next week or two. And have a chat about those within your class, just to give you a little bit more understanding about engagement and growth mindset. So just to reflect on today, I want you to just think about every time in the next few weeks you find something a little bit tricky, can you change those thoughts in your head to think about, I can do this, I can change it, I can make it better. Can you think of ways that you can be helped or help others to have good growth mindset and that positive attitude? Okay, let's say our prayer together. Diolch I ti am I byd. Diolch am ein ffrindiau I gyd. Amen. Diolch yn fawr, everybody, for listening to me this morning or this afternoon, whatever time you're playing this. It's an absolute pleasure to be back with you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you around and about this week and next week and catching up with you and finding out what you've been up to. So I'm going to say Dabwch chi for now, and I will see you very soon. Dabwch chi.